How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Josh, and today we will be looking at a lowland chamber I built for my warm growing carnivorous plants, such as this really nice Rafflesiana. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So let's go ahead and check out the lowland chamber. You can see it is in fact under my bed. It is this glowing box right here. Now my bed is pretty tall, sitting at just under 2 feet of ground clearance. So it may not work for most people's beds, which are typically a lot shorter. But regardless, let's go ahead, pull this big tote out and see what is inside. But before I do that, here is the label so you can see the specs. There's a 31-gallon tote, and it is Rubbermaid brand. If we open the lid here, we can see this lush lowland jungle I got going on in here. And on the lid, we just have 2 LED panels strapped to the top, but we'll get into that a little later in the video. We're going to be talking about all the plants that are inside here, how the whole environment stays warm and cozy for these plants, and also how the watering system works. So let's go ahead and talk about the heating in this setup. You can see on the wall here there is a giant 10 by 20 inch heat pad. There's also one on the other side. Those are both hooked up into a single thermostat set to about mid 90s, I'd say. That is basically just in case they do overheat, it'll actually shut off. And these heat pads are on the entire time and keep it around the low to mid 80s. And as for the ventilation, you can see I just have this single 5-inch fan. Press the button on the back, get to go 1 speed, 2 speed, and 3 speed. But during the day I will actually keep it off, because if it is going, it will decrease the temperature in here, because it is actually doing some evaporative cooling. And I wanted to stay warm during the day, so I just have it off. And also, having it off during the day will actually increase the moisture content a lot in here, help keep the humidity high, and then also water your plants a bit. As for the lights, these are just 2 amazing panels I found on Amazon. And they're amazing because they are extremely thin. These are LEDs, of course, and they cost about 20 bucks. And you can see, here's the box it came in. This is actually a new pack I bought for a different project. But it comes with 2 panels on the inside, and it's a lovely color light. As you can see, it's 20 watts. Comes with a built-in timer. I have it set for a 12-hour cycle right now. And I just have 0 complaints about these lights. These are awesome. One thing I did have to think a lot about when buying and picking out lights for this project is they have to be weaker. Typically you want to find strong grow lights, but I had to go the opposite and find weaker ones. Because the vertical space is much more limited, plants will be burned a lot easier if you were to use a normal grow light. So I had to find weaker ones, and these ones are great. I could not find any PPFD readings on them, but they work perfectly. Nothing's getting too much light. Even the gracilis is doing just fine going up towards the top, just because it's going between the lights really. And of course in the description I'll put everything I used to make this project happen. So if you guys noticed, there are actually misting nozzles on either side of the container. And of course those are for misting, and you can see the line. This is the end of it. Goes across to that one and out the side here. I actually just poked a hole through so it doesn't have to go under the lid here. You can see this is the actual pump for the misting system. This costs about 40 bucks. It works perfectly when you first get it, although there's quite a bit of bad features about this. First off, the timer feature for this, how you program it, it's kind of hard to understand, but I think I did it correctly. And it's also not reliable. The timer is not reliable in the slightest. I've Originally tried having it turn on for about 99 seconds every 12 hours or so, and it's been turning on. It's like changing the programming on its own. It's not reliable in the slightest. And now this one is not working so well. It's putting out like half the water pressure that it used to, and it's only a few months old. So I'll put the link to that one, and then also a much better one that I have in my main collection tent. You can see the pump is running now. If I were to open it up, still does get a good spray, but it's not as powerful as it once was. And I'm not worried about the lights getting wet or the heat pads. They all seem to be doing fine. This thing has been doing its thing for a few months now, so the lights seem to be waterproof. The heat pads are proven waterproof according to the manufacturer, so everything is fine. As you can see, there is a layer of moss on the bottom here, but that is not the actual bottom of the tote. So there's actually a false bottom, like a drainage layer. You can kind of see it in this corner here. What me and my brother did was basically take some metal chicken wire and bend it in a shape to where it'll basically elevate this bed of sphagnum moss above the bottom, roughly 2 inches or so, 1.5, just in case any water does spill out and actually completely saturate everything. We want to keep the roots of the plants actually sitting in water, and that does happen often when excess water does collect down there. Oftentimes I will actually dump a gallon of water into this just if I needed to leave this for a bit longer than I need to, and like I said, the misting system is not the most reliable, so it does act as a backup really. The temperatures and high humidity have never really shown a problem for the mold growth. Like I said, I do keep the fan on at night and sometimes all day, just really depends on if I forget to turn it off for the day or not. But there have been no mold growth. It's been 90+% humidity, almost 100 really most of the time. And things are growing amazingly in here. You saw the Rafflesia in the intro. I put it back, but oh, if I can get it out. You can see it's growing wonderfully in here. But let's go ahead and look at the plants inside this chamber here. We'll start with the Rafflesia. This is an EP White cross Varolata Rafflesia. It's absolutely lovely. I don't know if it's seed grown or not, but I just bought it off a Facebook person. And you can see, gotta hold the lid up a little bit, but there is a new picture down there. It is so squat and nice. Big wings on it too. It's definitely a winter Rafflesia, and it is getting quite big as you can see. So it will definitely outgrow this space here. Another cool one I have is this seed-grown Veitchii. This is actually one of the few Grex's predatory plants made with their Lowland female. It's an all-green peristome right now. It is growing super fast. You can see the leaves when I got it, where the small ones barely reaching the edge of the pot. That was a few months back, and now it's getting massive leaves comparatively. Another really cool one is this Ampullaria spotted. I don't know if this is a clone or seed grown. I assume it is a clone, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I got this from Pearl River Exotics. It is loving the lowland conditions. It actually grew just fine in my intermediate tents, but much better in the lowland. This one here is Viking Sumatrana Hookriana crossed with Diariana. I'm expecting large, colorful pictures with this cross. Right now it's all green, but I hope it will turn out to be really cool. This was seed grown. I bought the seeds from House of Hungry Plants on Instagram, and I have a lot of seedlings. That's just one of the many I have. This little guy next to it. Really cool color on this. Red leaves, dark red pitchers, they're squat. They're really cool. I can't remember the cross of this, but I also have a lot of those that will be available in the summer. This one is another seed-grown cross. This is Rafflesiana White crossed with Rafflesiana Globosa, or the reverse, I can't remember. Got this from a friend Kevin. Going fast. See, the Gracilis vine actually does have a basil here. And that is that big vine in the center here. Here's a picture. It used to be much redder like this when it actually had more lights, but now that's grown taller and in between the lights it's getting a little less color. This is Ventricosa. It's a really cool seed-grown variety. It's an EP red. Has a really unique shape for a Ventricosa. But it doesn't really like it in here. I really should move it back to the intermediate. This little guy is cute. That's the same cross as this one here, but again, I forget the cross. I will have a lot of these available in the summer as well. These are Ventricosa sibuensis, Ventricosa lowii, Ventricosa squat, crossed with Mirabilis var globosa. And they got pretty colorful pictures. If I can find any, I'll have to pull it out probably. Okay, had to pull them out, but these two I got the same size a while ago. And you can see there is some pretty big genetic variation between the two. This is the bigger, faster growing one, and the smaller but much better color growing one. This one is super dark and has much more unique shape to it. It definitely has lowii ventricosa coloration. This one definitely takes the globosa parentage more. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comments or direct message me on Instagram. You can find the links to the products I use in the description below, and I hope you guys give it a shot. If you guys build this type of setup, please tag me on Instagram if you do post about it. But have a good day guys, happy growing, and do not forget to water your plants.